Okay, hi, I'm Joanna with Blissful Baby Sleep Coaching. I'm here with Nikki and Kabir, and we just finished with 3.5-year-old Ariana. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick preview on what Nikki and Kabir were experiencing. But basically, Nikki had 3 years of really bad sleep, and it gotten to the point where the only way she was going to sleep at bedtime was to drive her for hours at a time. Wouldn't fall asleep until after 10 o'clock at night. And then, of course, in the middle of the night, she'd be co-sleeping and waking up in the middle of the night and wanting to watch TV in the middle of the night. And so I'm going to let it have you guys take it from here and how you felt about that and how that was affecting your life and your professional life and how it was even affecting Ariana.
Yes, yes. And so grateful that our paths crossed, Joanna, because that time was really, really hard in terms of being busy with a long commute, a day job, me and my husband both working, my husband having evening school as well on top of that.
Hmm.
And sleep is so, so hard. Like we wouldn't sleep until like 10, 11, all of us, and that's on a good day.
Hmm.
Um, where I would be on the road 9 to 10, 9 to 11, trying to get her to sleep, just as you described. And I think I hit this breaking point where I'm the one responsible for bedtime every day because whenever she tried to sleep with Kabir, she would just want to play and nothing else would work. And then she started waking up for some reason at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And then the only way we could get some sleep is here's the iPad, watch it for 1, 2 hours, go back to sleep somehow, and we all get some sleep. But
Hmm.
the guilt was killing me. And so that's
Hmm.
when I got your reference from my pediatrician, Joanna, and just got connected. Like, how can we change this? How can we
Yes.
shift this?
Yes. And I know you guys were like skeptical a little bit. You're like, okay, wait, how can we go from 3 years worth of co-sleeping and this big mommy preference that was going on where she was like really only it was all about mom all the time, and even though Kabir's like this totally awesome dad that was ready and available to help, she was always like mommy please. um and you guys were skeptical, so what was it like to go through the experience? I know you were scared of crying too, so maybe you could speak
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. I think I had resisted the thought of, oh, but if I sleep train in 3 months, I would always see her sleep patterns change. So
Yeah.
even if I invest this time, how would it stick? Was
Yes,
my
I
biggest
remember that. Yeah, you
question.
were like, if I go through all this pain and agony, is it going to stick? Yes, a
Right.
lot of families have that concern. Like, all right, I'm willing to do this, but only if it's like lasting.
Exactly.
Because if I do this and it changes, because we've had 3 years of kind of was good for a while, then it was really bad. We've had this good and bad already. So why would this be any different? I totally
Right.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, but I read the schedules to sleep like at 7 p.m. and 6 p.m. And that's way too early. That doesn't work for our lifestyle. That was the other thing. I'm like, this wouldn't make sense. Then I try to DIY it by, okay, I've heard Joanna speak before and I've read the sleep books and everything, but nothing was really working. And
Mhm.
so this is where, okay, I think we just need help, and help that gets both me and my husband on the same page to try a very consistent approach that was radically different from everything else we had done.
Mhm. Mhm. And
Yeah,
what
that's
what
right.
did
And
you
I'll
yeah.
just quickly add, I mean, working with you was nothing short of transformational completely. I mean, like Nikki was mentioning, we used to sleep at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., unpredictable, and now it's much more scheduled. So there's more dependability in all of our schedules as well. And
Mhm.
second, as I was mentioning earlier, the skills and techniques you teach us not just help with the baby sleeping at the night, but in general other areas of the life we have much more clarity on how to handle like a tantrum or holding our space or boundary, which you teach throughout your course. So it's been very helpful.
Yes, and exactly, because everything I do is based on sleep science, behavioral science, and attachment theory, right? So we have to use all three sciences, especially with a 3-year-old, because they're extra tricky, to use those three sciences on our behalf. So yes, so a lot of what we talk about is how to manage our daytime so that our bedtime goes better. And I'm so glad that that has helped parenting overall be easier. So how do you feel now? Like, what does it look like now?
Oh
What
my
time does she go
God.
to bed? And
Like we can plan our evenings for the first time in years. We can plan our evenings. Like I don't have to be in this mode of, oh, and now we have to get through bedtime and who knows when it will end. And then we get time for ourselves. Like I know I can start to clean up the home and we can actually plan to watch some TV together, which we've even forgotten how to do that. And that's happening these days. It's like a miracle,
I
Christmas
know.
miracle, like we're
It is a
recording this
Christmas
around then.
miracle. I know. To be able to like pick a show that you both want to watch and sit down and
Yeah.
actually watch an episode. Who
Yes.
knew something so pleasant could happen? Yeah, I
Right.
know.
And I feel like, as a dad, I also have a bigger role to play in Ariana's life in general. So earlier it was just mom who was taking care of it, and even though I wanted to help, it was just not working out. But now with the way the techniques you have taught us, I feel like I'm equally kind of responsible and helping out with the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
co-partnership in the parenting, especially when you've got a dual income working household, like it has to be co-partnership because it's just too much for
Right.
one mommy to handle, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing, I think it's also really transformed my relationship with Ariana, where otherwise it felt like she was such a source unknowingly of like frustration and resentment because this was just a tension filled time every day that just didn't have any boundaries around it. Who knew when it would end? It was hard for her and hard for me and all of us.
Mhm.
And to now feel like, oh, like she has predictability and we have predictability, like we're all so much happier as a family unit, which is especially important in the world we're living in now where we're all with each other 24/7.
Yes. Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? And I think dad also mentioned he feels like the household just feels more peaceful,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
which
Exactly.
is a really beautiful word, especially these days.
Hmm. Yes.
Yes. Well,
So
I'm
thank
so
you so much for all this, Joanna. You've given us tools for life. You've helped us teach Ariana sleep skills for life. And I think we'll forever be grateful for that.
Yeah. Indeed.
well, I'm so glad you guys. There's nothing more than I love than a family sleep transformation. It's what is my absolute delight and pleasure to know that I've got this beautiful kid sleeping so she gets what she needs and that you guys as parents get what you need too so you can be the parents and the professionals that you want to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.